Love is not found in the sound of a ringtone. It's not in the random messages, the late-night calls, or the sudden check-ins when he has nothing better to do. Love is in actions. And if a man doesn't truly love you but still calls you, it's time to understand why. We often mistake attention for affection. A man who calls you doesn't necessarily love you. Maybe he's lonely, maybe he needs validation, or maybe he simply doesn't want to let you go completely. But here's the truth. Love isn't about convenience. Love is about commitment. When a man truly loves you, you don't have to wonder where you stand. His actions will speak before his words ever do. He won't just call you when he's bored or when he wants something from you. He will show up when you need him. He will make the effort to see you, to prioritize you, to invest in the relationship. True love is not just about saying the right words at the right moments. It is about showing up, proving your commitment, and standing by someone even when it's not convenient. Words can be powerful, but they are only meaningful when backed by consistent action. Love is not a performance or a collection of well-timed phrases. It is built on trust, effort, and the unwavering presence of someone who truly cares. Many people have experienced the pain of hearing beautiful words that never translate into meaningful actions. Promises of, "I'll always be there for you, you mean everything to me," or "I love you," are easy to say, but without action, they are empty. True love is not just about making someone feel good for a moment. It's about making them feel valued, safe, and respected over time. When love is real, it is evident not just in grand gestures, but in the smallest everyday efforts that show commitment. Consistency is one of the most defining factors of true love. Anyone can make a grand romantic gesture or send sweet messages, but real love is in the little things. Checking in on you when you are feeling down, remembering the things that matter to you, supporting your dreams even when they don't directly benefit them. It is not about saying "I love you" when things are good, but proving it when challenges arise. Love isn't just a feeling, it is a responsibility, a choice to show up even when it's difficult. Actions define the depth of love more than words ever could. If someone constantly tells you they love you but fails to make time for you, their words lose meaning. If they promise to support you but disappear when you need them most, their love is conditional at best. Love is not about temporary excitement, it is about lasting devotion. A person who truly loves you will never make you question whether they do. Their actions will confirm it every single day. True love requires effort. Relationships that last are not built on pretty words alone. They are built on patience, compromise, and an active willingness to grow together. Love means being there during the hard times, not just when everything is easy. It means doing the work even when it's uncomfortable, having the difficult conversations, and choosing to stand by each other when things get tough. Love isn't just expressed when it's convenient, it's demonstrated when it's most needed. Sometimes we cling to words because they offer comfort. We want to believe that someone means what they say, even when their actions don't align. But real love doesn't require convincing. If you find yourself constantly wondering if someone loves you, the answer is in how they treat you, not in what they say. Words without action are just illusions, meant to keep you emotionally tied to someone who may not truly value you. You deserve a love that is real, a love that doesn't just make promises, but keeps them. A love that is seen, felt, and experienced every day through effort and consistency. The right person will not just tell you how much you mean to them, they will prove it through their actions. Because in the end, love is not about what is spoken, it is about what is shown. Love that is based on convenience is not love at all, it is simply a relationship of circumstance. True commitment requires effort, sacrifice, and a willingness to be present even when it's difficult. Yet so many people mistake convenience for commitment. They assume that just because someone is around when things are easy, it means they will stay when things get hard. But love that only exists when it's effortless will always disappear when it's tested. Commitment is not about being there only when it suits someone. It is not about showing up when there is nothing at stake. Real love requires a deep sense of responsibility and a desire to build something that lasts beyond temporary comfort. Someone who is only with you when it's easy, when it requires no effort, no sacrifice, and no compromise, is not truly committed. They are simply enjoying the benefits of your presence without the responsibility of genuine devotion. Convenience looks like the person who calls when they're lonely but disappears when they're busy. It looks like the person who gives you attention when it benefits them but fails to show up when you need them the most. It looks like someone who enjoys your company but isn't willing to invest in your growth or the future of the relationship. Convenience is about taking what is available without ever giving anything in return. Commitment, on the other hand, is about making an intentional choice. It is about standing by someone not just because it is easy, but because you have decided that they are worth it. Commitment means showing up, even when there are challenges. It means putting in effort even when it's inconvenient. It means choosing love even when life makes it difficult. A person who is only present when it's convenient is not someone who is truly invested in you. The person who values you will make time for you. They will prioritize you even when they have a busy schedule. They will be there for you, not just when they need something, but because they genuinely care about your well-being. Love is not something that should only exist in moments of ease. It should be something that withstands life's inevitable challenges. If you find yourself constantly questioning whether someone is truly committed to you, look at their actions when times are tough. Do they stay when you are struggling? Do they support you when you are at your lowest? Or do they disappear when things get difficult, only to return when it's convenient for them? The truth about commitment is revealed not in the good times, but in the hard ones. Real relationships are built on mutual effort. They require both people to show up, invest, and work towards something meaningful. A relationship that only exists when things are easy is not a relationship, it's a convenience. And you deserve more than that. The right person will not see you as an option only when it suits them. They will not only come around when they have nothing better to do, they will make a conscious choice to be with you, to support you, and to build something real. Love that lasts is love that is nurtured through both the highs and the lows, the exciting moments and the mundane ones, the joys and the struggles. Never settle for a love that is based on convenience. Because love, at its core, is not about what is easy, it is about what is worth it. Not about the things you get, but the things you do. In today's world, where constant notifications, social media likes, and instant messages give us a sense of being noticed, it's easy to mistake attention for affection. But they are not the same. Just because someone acknowledges your presence does not mean they truly care about you. Attention is fleeting. It comes and goes based on convenience, but affection is rooted in consistency, care, and genuine connection. Many people get caught up in the excitement of being noticed. When someone texts, calls, or interacts with us, it gives us a temporary sense of importance. We feel validated, seen, and valued. But the question is, does that attention come with true intention? Is it backed by care, respect, and a real desire to know and support you? Attention can be given to anyone. It requires little effort. It can be as simple as a casual text, a comment on a picture, or a momentary interest when there's nothing better to do. But affection is different. Affection requires effort. It means someone is thinking about you even when you're not in front of them. It means they want to understand you, support you, and be there for you, not just when it's easy, but when it matters. A person who truly cares does not just give you attention when they're bored. They invest in you. They remember the small details. They check in on you, not just when they need something, but because they genuinely want to know how you're doing. They show up, not just in the happy moments, but in the difficult ones too. If someone is only present when they want to be entertained, when they're lonely, or when they have nothing better to do, then they are offering attention, not affection. Affection is about prioritization. It is about choosing someone even when there are 100 distractions, even when life gets busy, even when things aren't convenient. Attention fades quickly. Someone may text you for a few days, call you when they need something, or spend time with you when they have nothing else going on. But the moment their circumstances change, the moment something new, exciting, or more convenient comes along, they disappear. That's because attention is easy. It requires no commitment, no consistency, and no real emotional investment. Affection, on the other hand, remains. It is steady. It does not disappear the moment something else comes along. A person who truly values you will not just reach out when they feel like it. They will show up even when it's inconvenient. They will put in the effort to nurture the relationship. They will make time for you because you matter, not just as an option, but as a priority. So how do you know if someone is offering attention or affection? Look at their consistency. Do they only message you when they're lonely or bored? Or do they genuinely want to be part of your life? Do they listen to you, remember things about you, and show up when you need them? Or do they disappear when it's no longer fun or exciting? You deserve more than just temporary attention. You deserve real affection. You deserve people who care, not just when they want to, but because they genuinely value you. The right people will not just notice you when it's convenient. They will choose you, respect you, and show up for you because they truly care. Never mistake attention for love. Love is not something that comes and goes based on convenience. Love is steady. Love is intentional, and love is proven not through words or occasional gestures, but through consistent action over time. In a world full of distractions and fleeting interactions, it can be difficult to distinguish between those who are truly invested in us and those who are merely passing through our lives. Words are easy to say. Promises can be made in moments of emotion. Grand gestures can create the illusion of care. But none of these things truly define a person's intentions. Only one thing does: consistency. Consistency is what separates real commitment from temporary interest. It is not about what someone does once or twice. It's about what they do repeatedly, over time. A person's true intentions are not revealed in their best moments. They are revealed in their habits, their patterns, and their ability to show up when it matters most. Think about it. Anyone can be kind in a single moment. Anyone can say the right things when it benefits them. But do they continue to show up when things aren't convenient? Do they keep their word when no one is watching? Do they follow through on the things they say? Or do they only make an effort when they need something in return? When someone is inconsistent, it is not an accident. It is a choice. It means they are not fully committed to what they claim to care about. It means they prioritize convenience over reliability. It means they are only there when it suits them, rather than when you truly need them. On the other hand, when someone is consistent, it speaks volumes about their character. It shows that they are dependable, that they mean what they say, and that their care for you is not based on convenience. A person who truly values you will not just show up in the good times, they will be there through the struggles, the challenges, and the days when you feel like you have nothing to offer in return. Consistency is also the foundation of trust. Without it, words mean nothing. If someone tells you they care, but their actions say otherwise, which do you believe? True care is proven through repeated actions, not just occasional ones. Trust is built when someone follows through on their promises, when their behavior aligns with their words, and when they make you feel secure in their presence, not just once, but over and over again. This applies not only to relationships, but to every aspect of life. In careers, consistency is what turns dreams into reality. The most successful people in any field are not always the most talented or the most intelligent. They are the ones who show up every single day, put in the work, and refuse to give up when things get difficult. In personal growth, consistency is what creates transformation. No one changes overnight. Growth is the result of daily habits, small improvements, and a commitment to becoming better, even when it feels slow, even when no one is watching, even when there are no immediate results. So when evaluating the people in your life, ask yourself, are they consistent? Do their actions match their words? Do they show up for you not just in the exciting moments, but in the hard ones too? Because at the end of the day, someone who is inconsistent is telling you all you need to know. They are telling you that their presence is conditional, that their interest is temporary, and that their care is not deep enough to withstand the tests of time. And when evaluating yourself, ask the same question. Are you consistent in your efforts? Are you showing up for yourself and for the people you care about even when it's difficult? Because in the end, consistency is not just about proving something to others, it's about proving something to yourself. It's about building a life that reflects your values, your discipline, and your ability to follow through on the things that matter most. Consistency is the ultimate test of sincerity. When someone's words and actions align over time, that is when you know their intentions are real. In a world where love and relationships are often romanticized, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring self-worth based on someone else's attention. Many people, especially women, have been conditioned to believe that being desired by a man is a reflection of their value. If he calls, if he texts, if he shows interest, then they must be worthy. If he doesn't, then something must be wrong with them. But this belief is not only misleading, it is deeply damaging. Your value is not and never will be determined by another person's interest in you. You are not more valuable because someone desires you, and you are not less valuable because they don't. Your worth is not conditional on who notices you, who pursues you, or who chooses to stay. It is something you carry within yourself, unshaken, unwavering, and independent of anyone else's validation. Think about it. If someone's attention truly defined worth, then every person who was ever ignored, rejected, or left behind would somehow be less valuable. But that's not true. Some of the most incredible, inspiring, and successful people in history faced rejection both in love and in life. Did that make them any less worthy? Of course not. Their value remained intact, and so does yours. It's important to recognize that a man's interest or lack of it says more about him than it does about you. People are drawn to others for all sorts of reasons, many of which have nothing to do with your true worth. Timing, personal insecurities, emotional unavailability, and even unresolved past experiences can all influence how someone engages in a relationship. Sometimes a man's disinterest is not a reflection of your shortcomings, but of his own struggles. Yet too often when someone pulls away, we take it personally. We begin questioning ourselves. Am I not enough? Am I not pretty enough, smart enough, interesting enough? We replay conversations, analyze our actions, and wonder what we could have done differently to make him stay. But the truth is, If someone does not see your value, it is not your job to prove it to them. Your job is to recognize your worth regardless of whether or not they do. A woman who knows her value does not chase. She does not beg for attention, nor does she try to convince someone to see what she brings to the table. She understands that her presence in someone's life is a privilege, not a necessity for validation. She chooses relationships that add to her life, not ones that make her question her own self-worth. This mindset shift is powerful. When you stop seeking approval from those who cannot appreciate you, you make room for the right people, those who see your worth without you having to prove it. You attract those who respect and cherish you for who you are, not for how much effort you put into making them love you. The harsh reality is that some people will never value you the way you deserve, no matter how much you give. But that is not a reflection of you. It is simply a sign that they are not the right person to hold space in your life. Let them go, and instead of mourning their absence, celebrate your own presence. Your value was never meant to be measured by his interest. It was meant to be defined by you, by the way you treat yourself, by the standards you uphold, and by the love you give to yourself first. The moment you stop seeking validation from others and start recognizing your worth from within, you become you no longer settle, you no longer beg, and you no longer feel the need to convince anyone of your greatness, because the truth is, your worth is not up for debate. It never was, and it never will be. Silence is often misunderstood. In a world where constant communication is expected, where people feel the need to explain, justify, and prove themselves, silence is sometimes seen as weakness or avoidance. But in reality, silence is one of the most powerful forms of communication. It is not just the absence of words. It is a deliberate choice, a tool of strength, and an undeniable statement. Think about the moments in life that truly leave an impact. It's not always the loudest voices, the longest speeches, or the most dramatic displays that make the deepest impressions. It's the silent moments that often speak the loudest. The silence between two people who truly understand each other. The silence after a powerful realization. The silence of someone who chooses not to engage in negativity. Silence holds weight. One of the greatest strengths of silence is that it allows space for observation. When you are silent, you can listen, not just to words, but to intentions, emotions, and the truth beneath the surface. People often reveal who they are, not through what they say, but through what they don't. Those who talk endlessly, trying to prove a point, may be masking insecurity. Those who remain silent, listening and observing, are the ones who truly hold power. Silence also creates boundaries. It is a way of showing that you do not need to engage in every argument, defend yourself against every misunderstanding, or explain yourself to those who are committed to misinterpreting you. When you choose silence over unnecessary confrontation, you send a clear message. I do not need to fight for your understanding because I already know my truth. In relationships, silence can be revealing. If someone's presence feels loud, even in their quietness, it speaks volumes about the connection. If their silence feels like distance, it may be a sign of disconnection. Sometimes silence is an answer in itself. If someone repeatedly ignores you, they are telling you everything you need to know. When words stop, the truth emerges. Silence is also a form of self-discipline. The ability to remain quiet in the face of provocation is a skill that requires strength. It is easy to react, to lash out, to say something in the heat of the moment that you may later regret. But silence gives you control. It allows you to step back, reflect, and respond with intention rather than impulse. The strongest people are not those who always have the last word. They are the ones who know when words are unnecessary. There is also a deep confidence in silence. When you are sure of yourself, you do not feel the need to constantly explain or seek validation. Those who are insecure tend to overcompensate with words, trying to prove their worth to others. But real confidence doesn't need to be announced. It is felt. A person who walks into a room with quiet self-assurance often commands more respect than someone who loudly demands attention. Silence can also be a source of healing. In difficult times, people often seek noise as a distraction from their thoughts and emotions, but true healing happens in stillness. When you allow yourself to sit in silence, to process your emotions without distractions, you gain clarity and strength. Silence gives you the space to listen to yourself, to understand your needs, and to find peace within. Many of the world's greatest leaders, thinkers, and visionaries have understood the power of silence. They knew that wisdom comes not from talking endlessly, but from knowing when to listen, when to observe, and when to speak with purpose. They knew that silence can be more persuasive than the loudest argument, that a quiet presence can command more attention than a raised voice. In the end, silence is not a weakness. It is a power. It is a choice. It is a statement. It is a reminder that you do not need to fill every space with words to be heard. Sometimes the loudest message is the one spoken in silence.